Summary of The Woman on the Ledge, a novel written by Ruth Mancini. Chapter 1. As Helen settled beside me on the rooftop, the chilly wind whipping around us, I couldn't help but feel a strange sense of camaraderie. We were two strangers brought together by the oddities of fate, standing on the precipice of a London rooftop, sharing our stories under the vast expanse of the night sky. We continued our conversation, passing the cigarette and the wine bottle between us. Helen's initial despair seemed to soften as she listened to my tale of failed acting dreams, family wealth disparities, and the complicated affair with a married man. I, in turn, found solace in her company, grateful that my impulsive decision to intervene had brought us together on this rooftop. "So, tell me about this married man," Helen prompted, exhaling a plume of smoke. I sighed, grappling with the complexities of my own narrative. "He's my boss," I confessed. "We work together. But he's married, and he'll never leave his wife." Helen studied me with a mix of empathy and curiosity. "Why are you still with him then?" I chuckled bitterly. I ask myself that every day. Maybe because deep down, I believe in the illusion of hope. Maybe because, amidst all the mess, there's a connection, even if it's complicated and flawed. As the night unfolded, we exchanged more details of our lives, the struggles of temporary employment, the loneliness that accompanied our professional invisibility, and the pursuit of solace in moments of desperation. Helen, in turn, opened up about her own challenges, painting a vivid picture of a life in disarray. "I came to throw myself off the roof, remember," she remarked, her gaze fixed on the distant shard. "Shit. Sorry," I apologized, my concern rekindled. "But you're not going to anymore?" She turned her eyes toward me, a melancholic glint still present. "You kind of put me off." I gently touched her arm. "Come on. Let's call a cab. Things may look different in the morning." "I doubt it." "Well, if they don't, you can call me." "Okay?" "Seriously?" "Yeah. Seriously. Give me your phone." Helen hesitated for a moment, before pulling her phone out of her pocket and handing it to me. I tapped in my number, and as I pressed send, a faint smile played on her lips. The shared experience, no matter how bizarre, had forged an unexpected connection. "Why do you care?" she asked, searching my eyes for sincerity. "Because, whatever you think you've done or not done, you seem like a nice person," I responded. "And anyway, us office temps have to stick together, don't we?" She considered my words, and for a brief moment, the weight of our respective burdens seemed a bit lighter. We were no longer isolated in our struggles. We had found a momentary ally in the midst of the chaotic Christmas party. As we stood on the rooftop, the city spread out below us, its lights twinkling like distant stars. The sounds of the party reverberated through the glass doors, but up here, we were in a world of our own. The air was filled with a strange mixture of vulnerability, understanding, and a hint of newfound friendship. Helen took another drag from the cigarette, her eyes reflecting a combination of weariness and resilience. "So, what's next for you?" she asked. I shrugged, the city lights shimmering in my eyes. "I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up, go to my mundane job, and pretend everything's fine. Or maybe I'll summon the courage to change something. Who knows?" She nodded, as if acknowledging the universality of uncertainty. "And what about you?" I inquired. "I guess I'll face the consequences of not jumping," she said with a faint smile. "Maybe there's something out there for me, too." The acknowledgement of shared struggles, and the possibility of a future beyond the night's turmoil, lingered in the air. We decided to leave the rooftop, braving the Christmas party once again. Arm in arm, we descended the narrow fire escape, returning to the crowded, chaotic world we had briefly escaped. As we re-entered the party, the contrast between the festive atmosphere and our shared, introspective moment on the rooftop was stark. We exchanged glances, knowing that our encounter was a unique chapter in both our lives. The night continued with its revelry, but we carried with us the memory of an unexpected connection, a bond formed in the most unlikely of places, under the vast expanse of a London night sky. Chapter 2. In the quietude of Sarah's office, the narrative unfurls, weaving a tapestry of emotions and revelations from a haunting encounter that forever altered the course of the protagonist's life. Seated across from their lawyer, the protagonist peels back the layers of a night fraught with despair and the delicate dance between empathy and survival. As Sarah's fingers dance over the keyboard, the protagonist recalls the woman on the precipice, the one who had fabricated her connection to Cowan Macaulay, a high-rise at 225 East Cheap. A shadow of introspection falls over the protagonist's face, and with a solemn shake of the head, they disclose the woman's deceptive nature. No, the protagonist utters, their voice laden with the weight of truth. She lied. She didn't really work there. Sarah, ever astute, probes for clarity. She didn't work at Cowan Macaulay? Or she didn't work on the 10th floor? She didn't work in the building. The lawyer's brow furrows in confusion. So, why did she lie? The protagonist meets Sarah's gaze, the unspoken understanding lingering in the air. She shouldn't have been there. She bluffed her way in. A subtle gasp escapes Sarah, and she leans forward, captivated by the unfolding narrative. And why did she do that? Their eyes lock, the gravity of the revelation seeping through. She wanted to kill herself. That's what she said. Sarah, unflinching, challenges the notion. There are other ways to kill yourself. The protagonist nods in agreement. But she knew the building. She was confident she could find a way in. And 225 East Cheap is high enough too. They pause, the reality of the height sinking in. It's 100 meters high. 300 feet. That's just about optimal, apparently. It's pretty much the perfect height if you want a guarantee that you won't survive the fall, but don't want too much time to think about it on the way down. The lawyer's frown deepens, grappling with the grim details. She told you all this? Yeah, the protagonist admits, the weight of the revelation settling in. It should have been an alarm bell. All of it. Her instability. Her lies. But I felt sorry for her. And I liked her. She had a bit of life about her. The protagonist's gaze drifts to the table, an acknowledgement of their own vulnerability in the face of someone else's turmoil. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say in the circumstances, but she didn't seem crazy. She just seemed like someone normal who'd got maudlin and drunk too much. There was nothing unhinged about her. I guess I wasn't completely convinced that she was serious about jumping. As the narrative unfolds, Sarah's questions guide the protagonist through the night of turmoil. The woman's unauthorized entry into the building, her calculated deception, and the protagonist's compassionate response paint a poignant picture of human connection in the midst of crisis. The conversation shifts to the intricate details of the building itself. The protagonist vividly describes 225 East Cheap, a high-rise housing various companies, featuring a gym in the basement, a bar at the top, and even sleep pods on some floors. The protagonist muses about the building's peculiar rhythm, a bank where no one works late or on weekends, contrasting with U.S. law firms burning the midnight oil. Sarah's inquiry delves into the security measures in place, prompting the protagonist to recount the security office, turnstiles, and the necessity of passes to navigate the building. Despite these safeguards, the woman managed to orchestrate a meticulous plan to reach the roof terrace. It still seems as though this woman went to a lot of trouble, Sarah observes, her eyes lifting from the laptop screen. The protagonist nods in agreement. I know. I agree. The lawyer, ever insightful, fixes a searching gaze on the protagonist. Go on. You managed to talk her down from the roof. What happened next? The narrative pivots to the aftermath, revealing the intricate details of the descent from the roof, the shared cab ride, and the woman's departure in Kenrick Place. The protagonist recounts the woman's assurance of being okay, the shared cab ride to Paddington, and the final farewell. She said she lived in Kenrick Place, just off Baker Street. I'm in Paddington, so it made sense to share a cab and split the fare. So, the cab stopped in Kenrick Place. She got out. We said goodbye. She said she was okay. She seemed okay. I told her again to call if she needed to talk. The lawyer probes for deeper understanding. And did she? Yes, she did. The very next day. As the revelation hangs in the air, a contemplative silence envelopes the room. The lawyer, absorbed in the details, prepares to unravel the aftermath of the night that forged an unexpected connection between the protagonist and the tormented woman. The narrative takes a poignant turn, shedding light on the woman's continued struggle with mental health. The woman, despite the intervention and the shared night, reached out the following day. The narrative suggests an intricacy in the human psyche, a complexity that defies simple resolutions. The protagonist's empathy, while genuine, becomes entangled in the web of another person's profound turmoil. Sarah, ever the inquisitive guide, steers the conversation towards the aftermath. The protagonist's revelation of the woman's subsequent contact becomes a pivotal moment in the unfolding story. The woman's voice echoing through the protagonist's memory, a haunting reminder of the fragility of the human mind. As the narrative expands, Sarah's questions evolve, probing the protagonist's emotional landscape in the aftermath. The protagonist, vulnerable and introspective, navigates the complexities of guilt, responsibility, and the realization that their intervention might have opened a Pandora's box of intricacies they were ill-prepared to handle. The story, at its core, becomes a meditation on the delicate threads that connect lives in unexpected ways. The protagonist's journey, intertwined with the woman's struggles, raises questions about the boundaries of empathy, the consequences of intervention, and the profound impact that chance encounters can have on the human experience. The room, enveloped in the weight of the narrative, becomes a sacred space for introspection. The lawyer, a silent witness to the unfolding story, prepares to guide the protagonist through the labyrinth of emotions that the night has unfurled. The narrative, now a tapestry of empathy and introspection, invites contemplation on the human condition. As the story unfolds, the layers of complexity reveal themselves, leaving the protagonist and their lawyer at the precipice of understanding, grappling with the aftermath of a night that transcended the boundaries of ordinary existence.